Here we're going to outline something that really blew my mind, and I think it might blow your mind as well, and it might get you to look at the techniques you've used or the approach that you've used up until today through a different lens. Now, here are some quotes taken directly from the NHS website when outlining what cognitive behavioural therapy is, as well as outlining some of its limitations. So here's the first quote. Unlike some other talking treatments, CBT deals with your current problems rather than focusing on issues from your past. Okay, here's quote number 2. Some critics argue that while CBT addresses current problems and focuses on specific issues, it does not address the possible underlying causes of mental health conditions, such as an unhappy childhood. And our third quote, although CBT cannot cure the physical symptoms of these conditions, it can help people cope better with their symptoms. So let's take a look at what these quotes really mean. CBT deals with current problems rather than issues from your past. This for me signifies a huge limitation in the model, because the vast majority of the problems an individual faces in the present is based upon the patterns, learnings, or programming, for want of a better phrase, that they learned growing up. If we're trying to apply reasoning and logic to current day issues which stem from past issues, the model will necessarily fail to provide a full and comprehensive approach. It will help you gain more understanding, yes, but it will not really ever resolve the root of the problem. The NHS acknowledges that critics recognise CBT is not designed to address the underlying causes of mental health challenges, such as an unhappy childhood. So if I were to propose to you that we embark on a journey to help you with problem X, but the approach we're going to use isn't designed to resolve the underlying cause of X, what would you anticipate the success rate to be? This helps us to understand why so many people notice a temporary improvement following therapy, but the problem isn't resolved. And it's possible that even just having an empathetic ear and a safe space to talk to someone, and someone willing to be there without judgment, is what creates most of those benefits. CBT also does not claim to be able to cure physical symptoms. Of course, no technique is going to eliminate anxiety, for example, as it's a normal human response in certain situations that can be life-saving. However, most people have symptoms because of specific events, so childhood trauma, for example, or because of a specific context, a problem in a relationship. And it is absolutely possible to resolve the issues relating to specific events, and it's absolutely possible to resolve the situation relating to a specific relationship. But at a more foundational level, even if that result isn't achieved, wouldn't you want to adopt an approach that aims for resolution? For me, taking an approach that aims to cope just sounds like it's setting the bar too low. And with just these 3 quotes, and there are more if you read through the various NHS CBT resources, you might have been beating yourself up for not getting the results you wanted, when in reality, even the NHS acknowledged that the approach isn't designed for it. And so if we think about why coping just isn't enough, then we can look at, well, it aims to manage the symptoms, not to resolve the root of the trauma. And if we really want a longer term sustainable resolution, looking at the symptoms and understanding where the symptoms come from is insufficient to achieve that goal. When we think about some of the common success stories of CBT, it's really about noticing when a problem arises, challenging the negative or unwanted thought patterns, managing those symptoms, and being able to move forwards despite them. So we're still working with the problem, we're just dealing with it better. Then it comes to the idea of temporary relief, but that suggests that there's an ongoing struggle. So by improving things, just because you've got an empathetic ear, someone who's listening non-judgmentally, and someone can help you understand things, that doesn't mean the struggle is going to stop. And if we're going to set the bar, if we want to set an intention, if we want to aim for something, why don't we aim to resolve the issues rather than setting the bar at coping with emotional issues? And these are just some of the reasons that I believe coping isn't enough.